Calling Scott County home all of her life, Maria has studied, worked, and gained valuable experiences by helping not only those in our area, but all across the country and even the world. Maria looks to put her wealth of knowledge and experience to work for Scott County to build infrastructure, create jobs, and help make Scott County a better place to live, work, and raise a family. This November, the candidate in District 2 you need to know is Colabro. Please follow her on Facebook and support her in the general election. Paid for by Maria Supervisor.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
And we're back here live from Bullitt Park, and energized Bullitt Park as the Union Bears have just made their entrance. They are now assembling over in their locker room, their makeshift locker room here at the facility. We'll probably have the national anthem here in just a moment, and as the Union Bear band comes out on the field, just a couple of notes. Chris, injury-wise, we saw Carson Jenkins in street clothes as well as DeAndre Mack. You know, what does Coach Housewright need to do, again, to sort of make up? That is speed on top of speed that we're losing on the offensive side.
Well, with Jenkins out also, that takes away that ability for those lightning-quick strikes that we saw at Richlands also. You know, Gate City's consistently shown the ability to sustain these long drives, but I think a lot of that was due to the threat of the quick, deep pass, and now that's been taken away.
You know, teams started to load up the box, and when, like you said, when we get those one-on-one matchups, Jenkins has the speed to break loose. Of course, you know, talking about Jenkins is the backup quarterback. If something happens to Reed tonight, then John Sally, which was the starting quarterback last year, which he was warming up earlier, he will be the second-team quarterback. He'll go in. Of course, he's been playing at wide receiver, tight end most of the season. So
he has, but he's got experience at QB.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be. I mean, it would be a bad thing as far as losing our starter, but I think they could do worse if it comes to that.
All righty, so we will take a quick break. We're about to have the national anthem. So, you're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
If you or a loved one is being discharged from the hospital and in need of rehabilitation, then look no further than Nova Health and Rehab, a 4-star facility in Weber City, Virginia. They offer a wide variety of services, including skilled nursing, physical, occupational, speech therapies, and outpatient services as well. Tell your doctor or case manager at the hospital that you want to go to Nova Health and Rehab Center, where you will find a home-like environment during your stay. Please call 276-477-5640. Again, that's 276-477-5640. Nova Health and Rehab is a Sabre Healthcare Group facility.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
Is school safety important to you? Is improving the overall protection for our county something that you want? Would you like to see better communication between a well-trained sheriff's office and the community? If your answer is yes, then you need to support Jeff Eads for Scott County Sheriff. Serving us for over 30 years in law enforcement, Jeff has the needed experience and insight to make each of these a reality. Please vote for and support Jeff during the upcoming general election this November. For more information, you can visit and like his Facebook page. Jeff Eads for Scott County Sheriff. Honest, dedicated, experienced, and professional. Paid for by Jeff Eads.
All right, so we are back here live from Bullitt Park. In Big Stone Gap, Union and Gate City, they've done the inflatable for Union. Union about to take the field. Gate City's cheerleaders and the band have formed their spirit line on their side. You know, Chris, as we mentioned before the break there, of course, a couple injuries for Gate City. Union right now, really nobody on their injury report. It is the 5th straight game, though, for Gate City. They're taking on a quarterback which is in their first season starting. Tonight will be Brody Gibson. He's a junior this year, takes over for Bailey Turner, Bailey Turner, Coach Turner's son, which was the quarterback last year. But, again, he's got some serious weapons going on tonight. Mason Pollier, again, I'm be saying that most of the night. So, He will again. He plays that deep the fullback, deep back position as well as linebacker. He goes sideline to sideline. You'll also be hearing a lot from Mikael Jenkins. Again, he's number 21, a sophomore as well. Bryce Garant, you might recognize the name from basketball, of course. Running back, linebacker. You know, Coach Turner, he believes what you've seen at Dobbins Bennett. He puts his speed guys at linebacker so that they don't have to take them off the field. They can go sideline to sideline, cover the backside of the field, and then if they need to, cover maybe a slot receiver as the other team goes on offense. So, Chris, your initial thoughts as we're here. Again, we're about 3 minutes away from kickoff.
Well, these injuries are a little concerning. Hopefully Gate City can rebound. I know Coach was not too willing to disclose anything Wednesday night. I can see why, but let's get this running game going. Hopefully Calhoun maybe can have a good night, and stranger things have happened.
Well, in a rivalry, again, this series goes back and forth. Union, which was comprised of Appalachia and Powell Valley, there's been some historic games here in Bullitt Park between Gate City and each of those, or especially Powell Valley, of course, just up the road from Appalachia. But, again, a lot of tradition here. I know a few years ago it was Michael Collier, quarterback, led us to a big upset in the playoffs, first round of the playoffs. Union was previously, they were 9-1, rolling. We came in as a 4 seed, knocked them off here at Bullitt Park. You know, things go back and forth, in the regular season as well. So, again, it's going to be very interesting. Again, you've got they bring out all the seniors for a Union team that lost 19 seniors last year. They've got 17 returning starters, so they didn't have a lot of seniors last year that played. So, but they've got a lot of them here tonight that's playing. So you're going to see some of the captains. Captains for Union will be number 24, Bryce Garant. You also see number 2, Demi Lester. He is a senior as well. Number 2, number 43, as we mentioned, Mason Pollier, and number 32. That's going to be Antoine Jenkins again. The seniors for Union. For Gate City, on their side, you're going to see number 2, Levi Roten. You'll also see number 8, Jacob Strong, and also number 15, that's going to be John Sally. So,
Joe, Antoine Jenkins, that name's ringing a bell. Didn't we see him in basketball last year?
We did. Again, he was that.
Seems like he was one of their main scorers.
One of their scorers, also one of the key defenders. They try to put him on Bradley Dean most of the night. Does a pretty good job very quick, though. They lost him to injury. If you'll remember, halfway through the season, of course, he's back and healthy right now. But anyway, so
I also wanted to mention, it looks like Gate City's come out in force. I do not really see an empty seat over there on the visitor sidelines right now.
Again, a good crowd just right up the road. Again, Big Stone Gap from Gate City. A great crowd, a beautiful night for football. Again, we're still in the 80s here as the captains are on the field. Gate City will be dressed in their away whites, black pants tonight with blue lettering on their jerseys and, of course, their black helmets.
Let's try a little experiment. If anyone over there is listening right now to the broadcast, give us a wave over here in the press box. We'll see if anyone waves in the next minute or so.
Okay. I see one right there. Okay, there was one right there. That's pretty awesome.
We appreciate it.
So, as you were doing that, we missed the toy toss.
Well, one team won, and they deferred to the second half.
Gate City has won the toss. They defer. Again, they will be kicking off to Union. Union will be going left or right on your radio dial. Again, they'll be going towards the scoreboard if you're familiar with Bullitt Park. Union dressed in their orange jerseys, their gray pants, again, their navy blue helmets, again, with the U on it. So we'll take one last break, come back. We'll be playing football on the flip side of the commercial. Again, you're listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports here on the James River Advisors pregame show. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
With the qualifications we need for Scott County Sheriff, candidate Greg McMurray has the law enforcement experience and ideas that you can believe in. His philosophy is simple: focus on the issues. He believes in transparency within the Sheriff's Office, proper patrolling throughout the entire county, and developing innovative programs like he did while serving with the Bristol Police Department by establishing and developing the Community Police Program. Greg also has the needed experience in supervising large workforces and staffs as he did in the private sector. He is asking for your support this November to become the Scott County Sheriff we need now and into the future. Greg McMary is a lifelong resident of Scott County and thanks you in advance for your support this fall. Paid for by Greg McMurray Sheriff.
You are listening to the home of Blue Devil Sports. This is Gate City Sports Radio.
All right, so as you can hear, the Cowbells are out in force. The Union Bears have taken the field. And they've run out through their huge bear inflatable that's in the end zone to our right. As onto the field come the 2019 Gate City Blue Devils.
Joe, there seems to be a lot of excitement tonight. Both teams are fired up to play. The stands are full. It looks like standing room only down in the end zones. This is a really good crowd for what should be a really good football game.
Indeed, indeed. Again, like I said, you throw out the records with this game. It's going to be physical up front, we know that. And, of course, that plays into the Gate City strength. That interior line, there's not been a game that we have not dominated. You talk about Kirk Gibson, you talk about Davidson, you talk about that front that we've got now. Also out of the ball game tonight will be junior Luke Chapman, number 70. He's on the sideline. He's dressed in street clothes. Torn meniscus. He'll be back in about 3 to 4 weeks. So, the injury. But, of course, you get to this point of the season, you're going to have injuries. You're going to have bumps and bruises, and that's just part of it.
Well, Gate City's short roster, though, I think that's really going to affect them more so than a team like Union that looks like they have about 75 people on the sidelines.
Yeah, when they sent us the roster, it was 4 sheets. So I tried to mess with the font and everything to get it down to 2 sheets.
Really quickly before we kick off, I'm really anxious to see what Kirk Gibson does tonight. He had a look in his eye Wednesday night. I think he's ready tonight.
Well, and that's the thing. After the emotion of the win of Richlands, everybody was sort of hyped up. I mean, everybody sort of started getting, then a couple of losses now, and they're saying, is it going to be what we've seen the last couple of years, 1-9 and everything? So I think that they're tired of that.
Well, on our coach's show we had when he was one of our guests, he seemed like he's ready to play now. He had the eye of the tiger.
Back deep for Union will be number 24, Bryce Durant. He'll be joined back there by Tayden Rorick, as well as number 8, Brady Bunch. And Luke Reed kicks off. We're underway as he squibs it. And onside, or did he get a
I don't think that was on purpose. He kicked about 1.5 feet behind the tee.
Well, and there's the big chunk of turf that's been torn up on the 39 as the ball rolled across midfield. And, again, Union will get the ball. Chris, we talk about field position, the kicking game, which has been kind of Achilles' heel for the Blue Devils. Again, we're giving the Union the ball on their 47-yard line here. It is 1st down and 10 as the first play of the game comes up. Here comes the Union Bears. They're in their spread wide out, and they're Brody Gibson. They're going to give it. Here comes Polier, and he's going to go knocked out of bounds. Looks like he got down to about the 45-yard line of Gate City. Again, Polier, the WCYB Player of the Week this week for his efforts last week against Graham, picks up almost 8 yards. 7.5 we'll give him. But anyway, it's on the 45-yard line of Gate City. They're right in front of us here. Again, Gate City going right to left on your radio dial as Brody Gibson's got the play. He brings it in. Again, they're going with 2 wide outs, 2 slots, and they're in the shotgun. Here comes motion. That's going to go to number 24. That's Bryson Garrett. And he's going to be knocked back. The Blue Devils, all of a sudden, wham! Here comes number 24, Ethan Fleming, up from his safety position and drops Union for about a loss of 9 yards.
Fleming did a great job there. He made the initial contact and refused to be swatted off. He held on to the jersey until his reinforcements could arrive, and they took him down for a major loss. It's 3rd and long.
As the first 3rd down opportunity, and again, that's something we'll want to track and talk about. Last week, Ridgeview was only 2 of 8 on 3rd down conversions, but they were 2 for 2 on 4th downs. So we'll see what happens here as it's a 5 wide set. And here comes motion. They're going to give it to Follier as he's got it. And he comes around the right-hand side. He's on the 50. He's on the 45. Great block as he's going to go down the sideline. He's going to be knocked out of bounds by Sally on the 8-yard line.
That is not what Gate City wanted to let happen on that play. I thought for a moment they were going to break through and contain him, but he was able to get to the outside and then streak down the sideline.